Hey everybody, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about what are some of those biggest things I noticed, those biggest transitions I noticed moving from a larger area to Northwest Arkansas. And it's not the ones that you would necessarily expect. So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you could like and share this video with a friend or family, that would make the world of difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas, obviously. So liking and also sharing can make sure that everyone can live, work, and play all in NWA. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Also, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack, and it sounds exactly what it is. It's literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the schools like? What are the hospitals like? All the cool things you would need to know about Northwest Arkansas. In a little box, I put it all in a little box, and I ship it right to your home. So enter your name below, enter your address below. Where am I shipping this package to? Where is this package going to? Enter your information below. I make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool, but I'm a little biased, obviously. And I know what you're thinking, I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below. I make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. And the first thing we need to talk about when it comes to things that I had to transition to when it comes moving from a larger city to Northwest Arkansas, and that was probably one of the most unique things, was, this might sound kind of weird, but people approaching me. Now, I come from Chicagoland area, and so that's kind of a, more interesting place, we'll leave it at that. But and this is a lot of experiences here, is when I would get in line or just like, walk around areas and downtown sections and everything, people would just sometimes generally just stop and talk to you and, kick up conversations in line if you're waiting for something, or just like you're standing near somebody, they just start talking. And not as in all the time, but it's just more of like, it would be very normal here. And so what I had to get over was the fact that when I was into like Chicagoland area, if I was, in the city itself, if someone came up and talked to you, my first initial thought was like, am I gonna get pickpocketed? Am I gonna get like kind of mugged? So the thing that I would naturally lean more towards was like, if someone talked to me, I'm like watching my pockets, I'm watching my surrounding area, because I feel like I'm being distracted for something else to happen. And so that took it took a long time to get out of, and honestly still, part of it is this, that kind of like almost like fight effect, where someone's talking to you that you're like, am I gonna get mugged? What's going on here? Why are you talking to me? What is going on here? And I had to learn that genuinely people just want to talk to you here. Whereas in Chicago, it's like not the case. So something that you might need to get used to if you're coming from a larger city that is, leans more towards problems, so to speak, is that people generally want to stop and talk to you just to get to know you. And a lot of it is because a lot of people are relos here, they're moving from different areas, they want to make community, they want to make friends. And so one way to do that is being in downtown Fayetteville or being in Springdale or downtown wherever. And you're at an event, you're at whatever the case is, and you're just meeting people. And so usually in other areas, it's not the case. And so I had to get over that pretty quick. And number two of a unique thing that I had to get over when moving from a larger city to Northwest Arkansas is, this might sound kind of weird, but alleyways. One of the weirdest things that I got used to moving to, the area, and whether it's Fayetteville or any of the areas, honestly, is in Chicagoland area, if you see an alleyway, you just don't go there. I mean, that's just obvious. You don't go down alleyways. Like, they're not inviting anything. But here around Bentonville and Fayetteville and Rogers and the whole area, alleyways are actually like places to cut through in the city to get to better parts of the area. And so there's so many times where they have like artwork or lights, or they invite you into the alleyways to cut through to different restaurants. There's actually restaurants down there sometimes, or parking, or whatever the case is. And so it was so weird when I was actually at a random event where Stuart Walton was talking at some sort of random dinner in downtown Bentonville, and he got out of the restaurant, and I was outside too, and he got on his bike and rode down the alleyway. And I was like, that would never happen ever in Chicago in a million years. It was shocking. And so I realized, like, wait, alleyways are actually like used here as a way to get through things. And so if you are in Bentonville or if you're in Fayetteville, you'll know that the alleyways, like, there's murals down there, there's lights, there's people walking through there, people hang out in there, and you're like, what is this place? And so that was the one thing I had to get used to, is just like leveraging alleyways to cut through the area much faster, because you don't do that in any larger city at all. Whoa, before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move down to Northwest Arkansas and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Notifications, way too slow, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. It sounds exactly what it is. It's literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below, enter your name below. Where are you looking to move to Northwest Arkansas? Square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, what are you looking for? What area of Northwest Arkansas do you want to find yourself in when you make your way down here? So enter your information below. I make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in downtown Fayetteville? When is First Fridays? When is First Thursdays? What's going on in Pinnacle? What new businesses are moving here? What new going on in the amphitheater? It's so much. There's so much going on, honestly. So enter your email below, enter your name below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday. It's kind of keeping up to date with all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. But side note, you will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And number 3 of a thing I had to get used to moving from a larger city to Northwest Arkansas is the fact of just general courteousness. Now, the interesting thing is like in the North, in Chicagoland or maybe other parts of America, one of the things was like if people said sir or ma'am, you would generally think like, you were perceived as like older. And it's probably more of the southern thing, and like Northwest Arkansas is kind of Midwest, kind of South, but it's very a Midwest feel. Like a lot of people have moved here, so it's not necessarily like a southern area. But a lot of people use like sir and ma'am in just a very courteous, respectable thing. Whether you're in restaurants, whether you're it doesn't matter what restaurant you're in, people just use that terminology often. It's a sign of respect, it's a sign of courteousness, it's a sign of whatever the case is, that is just part of built into the culture. And so it was definitely a minute getting used to people calling me sir, whenever I do things, because I'm like, why are you calling me sir? You know, it's like, so it's just interesting to get used to that. And it's it just built into the culture here. And part of it might be the South. Maybe it's just part of the whole, part of the South or part of like people moving here. But whatever the case is, it is definitely a normal, trendy thing to be used here. It's just those kind of verbiages or general courteousness is way higher here than you'll get anywhere else, like especially in the northern larger cities or in California, whatever the case is. It just exists here a lot more. And number 4 of a thing I had to get used to moving to Northwest Arkansas from a larger city. And this is just a trend, it might be just specifically to Northwest Arkansas, but people stop all the time for bikes and pedestrians everywhere. Now, I think that's kind of built into the culture here because there are so many trail systems, there are so many crossings, there are so many people walking, hiking, biking, the whole thing. And so built into the culture here is cars stop for pedestrians. Now, if you're in Chicago or any larger city, you're gonna get hit. It is what it is. Like there's no way, if you decide to cross the road, you're done. You're donezo. And so here in Northwest Arkansas, obviously there's a lot of lighting and like signs that say like stop, and there's actually flashing lights that actually cars have to stop, like red lights to make sure people can cross. Way more normal here. Now there are obviously parts in Northwest Arkansas that just kind of like have the crossings, but it's honestly a lot of times where I'm driving around Fayetteville and there's a crisscrossing with people crossing the road, you just kind of naturally know to stop there. Like they have the right of way when it comes to so many different things, and it's built into the culture because we know we want to make a community here that's very safe for but beyond just cars. We want people that are hiking, biking, running, 2 wheels, 4, whatever the case is, electric scooters, whatever the case is, we want them to feel safe. And so cars oftentimes stop to let them pass through the roads versus like having them rush across the road real quick to avoid, 2 or 4 lanes of traffic. So that is something that took a minute to get used to, is that we stop for other vehicles than just cars obviously around here. So it's pretty cool. I do admit, I really do like that. And the 5th thing I had to get used to moving to Northwest Arkansas from a larger city, aka Chicago, was the fact that no one uses horns here. Like I honestly think it was a year until after I moved here that I actually heard a horn, and it shocked me. I'm like, what is that noise? What is that horrible noise? And so if you are moving from a larger city, just know that there's people never use horns here. And I'm in that phase now where if someone does use a horn, I'm like, it better be for a good reason. There are no horns allowed here at all. So it's one of those things moving here, like in Chicago and maybe from larger cities, maybe coming where you're from, horns were used just whenever. Like even if you just had a slight discomfort of life, you just use your horn. It didn't matter if you were in traffic, it just didn't make a difference. So just be aware that there are no horns here. Don't start using your horn when you come down here. So just be aware of that. No horns, just kind of let that thing go. Maybe disable it out of the circuit breaker, out of your car for a minute or so. But it's something you get used to, is that you have no horns down here. And so yeah, that's one thing I really do appreciate, because it keeps the noise level down a lot around here in Northwest Arkansas. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary link below. Maybe you're adventure, maybe you're sightseer, maybe you're into art and culture, maybe you have kids, whatever it is, there's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you. So go ahead and download it and use it when you get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you the $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.